when I worked on this yesterday, I yesterday. That what I mean was last stream. It was not yesterday. I made some plans. I've been looking at these paintings and I made some plans of just what I want to do visually, or, I mean, it's all feelings. That's what abstract expressionist art is. And for whatever reason, I didn't like how this looks like a basket to me. And I just want to change this. And I thought what I would do to change it would involve maybe pencil, because this has only paint. Oh, well, it has, these are, um, I should just start calling them crayons. That's what art teacher. Anyway, these are oil pastels. I don't know what anything is in art. I didn't study art much, um, but they're like crayons and they're oil and they're called pastels, which I always thought was a color. But anyway, or shades. I suppose I could look up and see what pastel means, but at the same time, who cares? So these pencil marks are coming in a lot, uh, sort of darker than I thought they would. Oh, this pencil's from a very expensive hotel that no longer exists. Um, just like that life of me that I that put me there no longer exists. I'm not enjoying this. This doesn't feel good. I feel like talking about what matters and what doesn't matter. I think that's what art's about. Hmm. Hmm. I'm turning on the fan, but it's an interesting time of year because I don't really need to run up the fan or the AC or whatever because it's fall. The seasons are a good reminder that life is cyclical, time changes. I recently, this plant seems to be doing so well, or I seem to be doing so well keeping it alive. But I recently, all these fell off, and I'm sort of retraining myself. It's only about the third or fourth year that we've lived together, and I've never been able to keep anything alive other than succulents, low maintenance things. I mean, here's an example of something dead. Dead. I have some of my outdoor plants indoors because I had to clear stuff off my balcony and I never put them back. Mostly because it's been, well, big reason is that it's been so hot. I haven't wanted to have this open. So the fact that it's fall, I will remake my balcony. And I'm also reminding myself, oh, I spent some time this morning just sitting here soaking up sun, which I don't do in the summertime. And I'm having to remind myself that this plant, which has been sort of over here, only lives in this zone during the summer. The rest of the year, it needs to go out there to get sun. Does that make sense? Um, well, if you knew this is east, northeast. I mean, the sun moves from like across the year. So we're in the time of the year where I have to move the plant if I want it to get any sun. So I'm not going to do that right now, but it's on my list. I remember a friend saying that I was good at talking to the camera, something that they didn't want to do or like doing. I used to be better, meaning, what does that mean? I think um, I've been making changes. I'm trying to do something as lazily as possible. That's sort of a theme lately. I'm trying to set up this tripod without. All right, and then I'm going to set it next to the painting and I'm going to paint. Well, I'm not going to paint. I call it all paint because I call these paintings, but at first I'm more of in a doodle mood. So I didn't want this to look like a basket. What a oblique angle you're at, but I already showed it for the other one. So I wanted to do some weird, I don't know what I wanted to do. The reason I turned this thing on was to talk about why I do what I do, what the point of art is. I could make it sound really important and say it's dangerous. And art is both really important and dangerous. So I don't know why I had to say it in that fakey tone. Before I turned this thing on, I had ideas that what I wanted to say. And the situation of being in uh, live streaming, maybe that's what changed my ability to know what I wanted to say. When I compare it to the science that when the act of measuring changes that which is measured, the act of observation changes that what's observed. I don't like what I'm doing right now. Does that refer to just this doodle or to life? I don't like being in pain. I make this art to cope with the fact that life is really complicated. And I think that there's a yearning for answers and a bunch of stuff scribbled feels to me like a more honest answer than what I'm used to getting. I make what I make stubbornly, first to help me, and then the whole be the change you want to see, to share it because I want to see sharing of internal conflict. I want to see people sharing their feelings of being lost. I mean, I can understand why that's not very appealing because it's painful and awkward, the biggest sin of the current century. Maybe goes back further than that. See, a statement like that, it's like if you can find a law, a reason, and then you can sort of pin things to it, and then you have a theme and you attach and you promulgate, and if people start to believe you, then you've done it. I had sort of a mental script and I've forgotten it. I can understand why good videos have scripts, but I can't write a script that is as good as this. This is live experience. I mean, right? We're curious about reality TV or live videos. We we're curious about reality. I mean, yes, we love our scripted programs, but if I do something great or stupid, well, let's say stupid. If I do something stupid live, I mean, if it's live, it's not going to be edited out. If it's scripted or rehearsed or replayed back, edited, then it's going to be removed. So the majority of what we're seeing isn't real life. And then this says Jacksonville City Council, Suite 425. Um, I used to, this probably goes back to when I had my art. I used to participate in reality a lot more than I do now. I do not like what I'm doing. I'm pretty much, I liked the painting better before I started doing this stuff, so this probably just raises the likelihood that, I don't know. When I make this art, I do things I don't like because it's not pre-planned. So then I have, just like in life, I have a decision to make. I can give up, which is what I'm feeling lately, and I just want to give up. Or I can keep going and keep working at it until I like what I'm making, like what I'm doing, like what I've produced. And for me, I can't do that in any way except live. I can't live a scripted life, and I can't create scripted work. And unfortunately, that has, when it comes to this work, meant resulted in I can't sell it, I can't market it, I can't take it from from the process of creating it and then switch into a different type of person and start selling it as anything more than what it is, which is just a record of some moments of my life, good or bad, some thoughts, some emotions. I can't say, well, I mean, I'm trying to. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to say what this represents about one human's spirit. But I can't say it's worth anything. I guess that's the issue, is that I can't say it's worth anything. I'm supposed to be able to put a dollar value on it and talk it up. More and more lately, I wish someone else would, like, I can't be schizophrenic, not to be glib about a word I don't really understand. But I can't be two people. I can't change gears. I think maybe I used to do that better. I used to be pretty schmoozy. I just don't want to be that way, maybe. I'm greedy, I'm selfish. Um, or reality has beaten me down, and I see it doesn't matter that much anyway. No matter what, I never turned this into a living, and it comes back around to just being like a security blanket, a pacifier. A pacifier. This is my pacifier. And for that, I know I probably will never stop. But the logistical, marketing, and storage brain, which I do have, it's not like I'm incapable, knows that, oh, I'll probably just paint it over and repaint it. Like, I'm not going to buy more canvases again. It's not worth it. So, for all this complaining, you would think, well, he must be a real failure. He must not have ever sold anything. I've sold a lot of art in my life. But what I've been taught is that money is everything. Because it's so funny. I thought if I put it there, you'd really be able to see what I'm doing, and you really cannot. Uh, I mean, I suppose I suck at being a videographer. Okay, oops. I did it. I used my own spit. I didn't go back to the water bucket. The spit is what I wanted to use from the beginning. I just was being polite on camera. Um, what am I doing? I'm taking advantage of the technology that I currently have access to, and that includes a roof over my head, Wi-Fi, an iPhone, uh, Twitch, to try to send a message that's different. I don't see, okay, so when I look at, like, oh, okay, no matter what field you're in or wherever you go, you can look at things and think, well, what does it take to succeed in life? And you sort of look at people who have already succeeded, and then you might want to do what they've done because you desperately need to succeed because you want to have a roof over your head and you want to eat more than oatmeal. I have oatmeal and eggs. Like, I can't even believe I have eggs and they're going to waste because I don't even have bread. Yes, I could leave the house and buy bread, but like, I just don't have much food. Anyway, um, and when I go to buy food, it's just more debt. So I shouldn't be, obviously I shouldn't be doing this. I should be, I guess, working somewhere. I can't start with that premise because that's going to take me too far away from where I am right now. I'll just say I'm disabled, which is true, but I mean, that's all the explanation you get right now. I'm using the tools that I have to create and produce and to spread this message. Anything to avoid saying the word disseminate. Some crap from the place I used to work. Sponsored video. So people make things that are sponsored. I posted recently, all art is sponsored. It is sponsored by corporate exploitation, uh, kissing rich people's ass, like collectors, rich collectors, um, coming from money or being married to money, working another job or several jobs. If all art is sponsored, then you're only going to get certain types. So my art, my lifetime of art is sponsored by coming from enough money and working some other bad jobs. And I tried to please the wealthy or the corporate systems, and I quit because I found it harmful. But the thing is, like, maybe it was easy for me to quit because I wasn't having any successes. And if I had had successes, then I would have accepted that monetary reward and not asked as many questions as I ended up asking. Maybe. Like, even when we get something that's like countercultural from mainstream culture, what is it that we're hoping for? Someone's going to make it, become independently wealthy, and then have the courage to tell us what's real. Or they're going to retain their, really strong connection and memory to their roots, their background. Sometimes I have bleak thoughts and they really link up with songs I used to listen to. And I'm old enough that my emo started with things like The Cure. I was thinking, um, it's never enough. Whatever I do, it's never enough. I can relate to that. But when I say whatever I do, it's never enough, I don't have, I haven't sold millions of records or performed in front of, over the course of their lives, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands of people, lifetime concert attendance. So when I say whatever I do is never enough, I am more authentic than a singer who made money. Or then when I was in college, there was, now I never remember the names of these 90s bands, but maybe it's Green Day. I think it is maybe Green Day. About don't, I don't have, anyway, there's a song from then about not having any motivation. But again, they had the motivation to get a record contract and put those songs out and go out on tour. So they're speaking to me even now in my sad times in the shower. And I don't doubt that people have these experiences. So that's the thing, is like you can tap into these universal sort of experiences of questioning what what's worth doing, what's valuable, what's motivation, what's enough. But you're not going to get the opportunity to share those real doubts unless you're not also good at something else, schmoozing, or just being in the right place at the right time, or often, being the right race at the right time. So one of the things that, so here I am, I've said like I came from money and I'm a white man, and so like I've failed. I didn't do, I had all these opportunities, all these, yeah, opportunities available to me. Um, just wanted to fulfill that didn't live up to expectations. I don't want to prove my elementary school teachers wrong. Failed to live up to expectations. Just pre-print it on my tombstone. Please don't bury me. It's not worth it. Well, I don't know. Just do whatever's the cheapest, please. Like, I don't even think, we don't even provide poor people burials, do we? So yeah, I get angry and I'm like, I hate the place I live, the country I live. I'm a traitor to having come from white, upper class, highly educated roots because I hate everything about it. In the environment that I sort of was born into or belong, I don't think I've ever had a deeper conversation than, you know, home decor. And apparently, that's what I'm making, home decor. So I have all these, apparently ill-fitting and nasty ideas. I'm not opposed to anymore because I want to live and I want to be able to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm not opposed to the idea of letting somebody else handle. I mean, maybe that's what happened with those musicians. Maybe they didn't change too much of the way they felt when they made their art. Maybe they just happened to have management that did the stuff that's required to get through the barriers. I do this stuff, but I'm not willing to do whatever it takes to actually make products that content, by which I mean content, that rises to the top. The only thing I can tell myself is I've never seen anyone else doing stuff like what I do. I don't think I'm so unique. I mean, who knows? But this kind of stuff isn't going to be picked up by algorithms, so I'm not going to see it. And or maybe I wouldn't want to see it because I'm watching well-produced stuff all the time. But I like there to be some sliver of reality, which is why I often like sort of like YouTube video essays more than TV. But sometimes I like TV. Sometimes I like movies. I suppose my stubbornness is just like, well, couldn't there be some room for art as I define it, which is expressions of human emotions separate from uh, purpose, a purpose like making money? Uh, I don't know. I've had oatmeal for breakfast. I just remembered I have frozen fish. I can have fish and rice for dinner. I have more to say about money, but maybe not in this video. Just, I, I might like it. I just kind of wanted to ugly up that part. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Someone came over yesterday. This was not one of the ones that they commented on, but they liked some of the ones that already exist. That one, this huge one. Said I should be in a show. I don't have the energy. There is even supposed to be a show here, and I don't have the energy here in my building. I mean, they just, I don't know what the point of it is. They like to have fun things to do and share. They try really hard to make community, and I'm the one who doesn't want it. Because, as I say, I've never had a deep conversation with people in a certain demographic. I don't know, how can I say that right? I guess I got problems. Like, that's how I'm supposed to look at things, is that I've got the problems. And I should shift what I do to fit my society, whether it's to make more marketable art or to not make art at all. That would be better, right? Um, and if that messes with my mind, then I should be on lots of drugs, as many as it takes. If fitting in, pleasing my society was my goal, I would definitely stop art. I mean, the reason I do this art is to give myself a reason to live. Because the message of my art is that all individuals deserve respect. I feel sick to my stomach. This doesn't help. I'm putting it in the fridge for later. I don't waste anything. I remember one time when I was having a crisis about my work, and a friend who had watched me paint many times said that she commented on the fact that I don't waste. I try not to waste paint and art supplies, and I find ways to, yeah, anyway. And I thought, as if that's a sign of being good as an artist. And by the way, in a very real sense, all of this paint is wasted. All of these materials are wasted. If I'm not happy with my existence, then everything that's gone into my life is wasted. My education, all the food I've ever eaten. I mean, if there were a button just to be like, I'm turning myself off, I've done what I can do, I'm done, that would be the thing to do to avoid waste. Whoever, I mean, what what kind of crazy idea has it that we can get efficiency, uh, as in human existence? I don't think so. I don't know how good this noise canceling is. I'm using the regular. I'll just keep that. Like when Freddie Mercury sang "Nothing Really Matters," did that mean that the song? Yeah, I know it's just words. People don't have to have the same views as their. I'm exhausted. I get tired by the simplest thing. You think, wait, ha- why does this battery not stay charged for any time anymore? Everything's a piece of shit. Oh, or was it that it overheated? Um, I mean, it does feel very, 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 very hot. Well, you knew you weren't going to do a good job when you started, or at least now you have the an external excuse. So the only way to market this kind of stuff is to say, like, I'm special, and therefore it's worth something. I guess. I mean, what I'm trying to say, like, if somebody were to say, this is nothing, nonsense, my kid could do that, my response is like, yeah, isn't that great? Yeah, I've been thinking, I mean, so when I look at people I know who are sort of doing better, maybe I'm not like sufficiently selfishly motivated that um, I was going to do more on this one, but I'm exhausted. I wake up before dawn. I make myself a meal. Like I need to start putting energy into my midday meal, or else I'm not gonna be able to make it. Oh boy, I have a gross soup that I don't want to eat, but that's the easiest thing I can make. I don't buy gross soups. I get them from food charities. Like, I can't believe I don't even have noodles. I don't have pasta. Oh, I have. Yeah, I don't have anything I want. I I rehydrated some dried garbanzos. I don't have the energy to do anything with them. I don't want to do anything. I had some plans for this one, but nothing really matters. that plant kind of matters. I like keeping it alive, but it doesn't matter. I mean, whether it's sometime soon or sometime a long time from now, at some point I'll be dead, and none of this stuff matters. It's all in somebody's way. It's all garbage. I mean, this is how we live. We do not. I'm getting notifications, so I'm staring away from the screen. Um, I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. We don't live, I don't live in a society that cherishes others' thoughts, things. What would, and the messages I get would be, oh, that's too much, it's there's too many people, there's too many things, there's too many thoughts. How can you cherish all the thoughts and feelings? I can tell you how we could cherish things. We could have fewer of them and reuse them. We could not produce things that aren't reusable. I mean, that could be an enormous industry of repurposing and cherishing what comes before. And by industry, I mean thing for people to do. I don't mean money making business. Because the only people I know who think that they are doing, selfless work by scouring estate sales and whatnot, I mean, they're just doing it to like pick out the good stuff, rebrand it, and make a profit. Which, again, I guess I just don't know how to love myself enough that profit is my number one desire. Sometimes isn't there a meme about like I want us all to make it, something like that, maybe I just take that a little too seriously. I can't think of anything to do that helps me make it. It also helps us all make it, except for, well, I mean, I try to put out humanist messages, but that doesn't help me make it. So all the things I can think of, and I don't even know what I can do anymore with my current health. But when I think of things that can help me make it, they don't help us all make it. They usually hurt someone somewhere. And I don't want to do it. So I'm a life dropout. I'm a conscientious objector to capitalism. Oh, the reason I saved this, I found it, I think, in a parking lot or something. I just hate that things like this exist. But I'm gonna make it like we're celebrating you every day, Planty. That's cute. I mean, the plant is pretty. The plastic mylar or whatever isn't that great, but it's kind of funny and amusing. I've been experiencing nausea. I think just emotional nausea or just my poor nutrition. Well, I wanted to stop at half an hour and now I'm at an hour, so I'm gonna stop. It's not like I unrehearsed can say what I want to say. I had tons of thoughts about systems and maybe I'll be able to express them another time. Um, if anyone wants to help, what I'm trying to envision for myself is that I definitely accept mutual aid. I don't question where the money comes from. It comes from someone freely giving it. So that's uh, autonomy and free will and consent. Um, I currently make $55 a month, and there's another unreliable source or inconsistent source, both of funds that I am dependent on that I have such mixed feelings about. And I would love it if the money that I get from patrons increased. Um, I have the art that I'm very happy to send anywhere. And beyond that, I have just my emotional honesty that I will continue to share when I can, as long as I can, as much as I can. This was good. This was okay. I did a little bit of painting. I know. It was really scribbling. I I said some things I really felt, and I kept it to an hour.